I say, dear boy, the selection at this inn is shockingly grim. My name is Totalbiscuit of the WoW podcast Blue Please on cynicalbrick.com. This is the final part of the Guildnair starting zone, taking you all the way out of this area and to the next bit, which is Darnassus. I must apologise in advance for the lag that you see in the first few minutes of this video. For some reason, my internet connection was having a little bit of a seizure, but that does clear up about 4 minutes in. Hello, Greymane. How are you doing?
Lady Tyrande and her people have done us a great service. For this, I am eternally grateful.
Okay, cool. But your son's still dead, so I suppose you're feeling a bit down, right? Now, the people are trying to evacuate the city. Sylvanas is bombarding the city with plague barrels. Everyone will die if they hang around here. This city is, well, toast, by the looks of it. So we're going to have to get the hell out of here. In the meantime, we are part of the rear guard, defending the city and those within. They are heading through this passage right here, which is full of rats. Kind of unpleasant. Oi, get off. Ugh. I am not meat. Leave. Let's get on this bat and get the hell out of here. So, what we're going to do is a little bit of a riding quest. Stop it. It's a bombing run. Drop some bombs on the Forsaken. It's all good. One has to wonder, considering the effectiveness of this bombs, why they didn't just load them into the cannons and blow the entire Forsaken to Kingdom Come to begin with. And we've got iron bombs that, as you're about to see, can devastate entire regiments of Forsaken. Oh well. I guess that would have made too much sense, wouldn't it? I mean, look at that. We killed 3 Forsaken catapults and 3 invading Forsaken forces in a single bomb. We've got a military that should have absolutely flattened these guys. I don't know what these bombs are, but seriously. It's way beyond that plague nonsense. I mean, they haven't managed to kill anyone with that yet. Not here, anyway. And With Kittens has got quite the arm, as you can see. I swear, the Forsaken's obsession with the plague is really the cause of why they're not doing so well with the military. Like, hey, well, we've got the plague. Yeah, well, we've got iron bombs that can blow up entire regiments of your troops. But we've got the plague. Yeah. Okay, so the plague makes things glow green a bit, I guess, and maybe some cutscenes like the Wrathgate, but otherwise doesn't seem to do an awful lot. Why don't you just use conventional weapons that, yeah, blow away entire regiments and loads of lines of war machines? Well, we've got the plague, and it makes mist and stuff, and it's a pain to get out of the carpet. Yes, thank you, Sylvanas. Your ever-efficient Forsaken military has truly done the Horde a great service this day. Also, how the hell did we manage to capture a bat? I'm not even going to ask. I didn't even see any bats in this area to begin with. Hi, Greymane. Son's still dead? Yeah, I guess so. You know, you could put him somewhere comfortable. It's rather undignified. We're out of here. And the best way to do so is to wave a torch in the direction of those nasty rodents so they don't bite at my kneecaps. I'm not talking about gnomes, I'm talking about rats. Take this half-burnt torch, stick it on the hotbar, and what you do is you spam the button, and it gives a area of effect fear, which keeps these rats the hell away from you. Mostly. Fear the stick. Wait a minute, that doesn't look like a torch at all, that's my little hammer. Maybe it's a placeholder model, who knows. You see, if I was waving one of those nice blue and white checkered boxes at them, then I suppose that would make sense, but that little mallet's not going to do much. Hundreds of creepy, crawly beasties. Out of the way. Spiders in here as well. Ugh. Well, that's the escape route. We've managed to make our way out of there. And of course, the Forsaken, being as incompetent as they are, didn't pay any attention to that whatsoever. Oh, really? Single rat? That's a tough rat.
What can I
Thank
do
you.
for you? Good day to you.
Oh, Krenin, you always seem to be chilling out, so... Apparently we're trapped in by our own dead, so as they stampeded through the tunnel, they disturbed a number of, well, resting folks that were having a nice long snooze, and suddenly they're awoken. And there's phantoms everywhere, and it's very unpleasant. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a hold of the mementos that we so callously unearthed with the evacuation. We're going to put them into an offering, and we're going to hopefully anyway, placate the undead forces. Why couldn't we have just done that to the Forsaken? It's like, here's a jar of, I don't know, collectible coins or something. Go away. Stamps? Baseball cards? Not into those? No, Forsaken don't have hobbies. Oh, slaughter and plague spreading, right. Should have seen that coming. This is a generic kill quest, so I'm going to speed up, put all of this for you. Just knock these out of the way and grab the mounds of the earth. The mobs are getting a tad trickier by this point. Pulling multiple mobs is pretty easy, and of course stealth isn't all that effective against them at all. Sneaking around serves no practical purpose. So you're just going to knock them out. They have a fairly large aggro radius, and they can hit pretty hard. Locking them down with a bit of crowd control is the way to do it. And thankfully, as a druid, our heal over time will overdo almost anything they can throw at us. They do have quite a lot of hit points, and our Star Surge isn't quite as impressive as it was previously, but I suppose you can't expect it to scale too well. Out, out, out. Quit it. Seriously, it's for your own good. Don't hit me with a piece of bread. Is that a rolling pin? I don't know what that is, but... It must suck, really, to be an undead phantom who's armed with a rolling pin. I thought you'd have a little bit more choice in the afterlife. What, do you get to the pearly gates and they ran out of swords? Okay. Now, we have to take the pot and place it. And it's really as simple as that. But you've got to get everything out of the way first before that happens, of course. Wait it. Behold my elite kiting skills. The best druid of all time. Some people are going to take me seriously and rage at me. Oh, YouTube. Oh, those rolling pin ones. It's no wonder they're so angry. Now, somebody wanted to see my human in the hat. There you go. Not all that exciting, is it? But it's a nice hat nonetheless. Now, sadly, my recording actually broke here, so there's a little bit missed out, but there's nothing. Seriously, you missed absolutely nothing. You hand it in, and he says, hey, that's great, the dead are now at peace, blah-de-blah, so go to the harbour, because that's where Darius Crowley is, a.k.a. Lord Boxhead. It's a little bit of a jog over to the next area, which is the Kiel Harbour, which is where everybody is gathering. What you'll note, as I'm about to show you, is that when you activate your true form, aka the Dark Flight sprint ability, it will turn you back into a Worgen, so no $6 million man stuff going on here. A nice tour of the grim darkness of the Far Gilneas, in which there is only Worgen. I love the architecture. What can I say? It's great. It's awesome. I absolutely love the glowing orange in contrast to the very bleak grey. It's fantastic. Wow! Okay, the Night Elves have brought a few toys. It's always good. They're usually pretty useless. Is that a new glaive thrower model? It is, by the looks of it. Very nice. Nice to see a little bit of polygon count going on there. And Professor Pumpernickel, the Alpha Teleporter to Darnassus. Beta is beta, ladies and gents. Things are not quite complete. Now, I'll answer this a little bit of fan mail right here. I'll talk to Lord Boxhead in just a moment. These are some of the best quests in the entire zone, I might add. But I just want to preface this by saying that this zone is still not finished. If you talk to Professor Pumpernickel there, he'll tell you that some of the quests are missing. Now, it's full-scale war. Garrosh has ordered the Orcs in as well, because, well, the Forsaken aren't doing a particularly good job. However, the Night Elves are here to back us up. They brought ships, and they also brought some glaive throwers. We have been ordered onto the battlefield, and we are asked to man a glaive thrower and demolish some Orc siege engines, as well as their mounted units, and a bunch of Orc raiders. We have 3 abilities as the glaive thrower. We can spam glaives, we can spam more glaives, and we can make ourselves go a little faster. Forward for great justice. And wow, this is quite the battlefield, isn't it? They brought some ancients and everything. I wonder how they fit them on the boat. Seems rather impractical, don't you think? I suppose they could stow them in the hold. Cargo containers, maybe? It's all good. Fire the glaives. Holy crap, those are powerful. Why do we bring the ancients at all if all we needed was a single glaive thrower to hold off the might of the Orcish horde? Oh, if they had this in Warcraft 3, they'd have dealt with Archimonde in a nanosecond. Splat. You really can spam these things as well. Where do they keep them, one has to wonder. Oh, there's a glaive thrower. There's a Gatling glaive. Quite the range on it, too. This is pretty fun. What can you say? Spam glaives, kill orcs, blow up catapults, watch ancients do absolutely nothing as you save the day once again. With kittens, of course. I actually like the fact that they stick in the ground as well. That's neat. We saw that in the Stone Talon tour, where there was a little bit of a battle going on there. A little bit of residuals, nothing wrong with that. We could do them with arrows. That would be kind of nice as well. Wow, we really have committed a bit of genocide here, haven't we? If we look over there, we see the Horde gunship. One of the, I don't know if that's actually Ogrim's hammer. All it says is Horde gunship, so it might not be. It might just be a similar model. For one thing, Salfang isn't on it. If he was, this would have been over already. Bash these things out of the way. Based on the Demolisher siege engine model, of course, from Ulduar and Wintergrasp. Now just going to find some Outriders. Ha, there you are. I don't know how you got onto the shore, but okay. I'll accept that. All done. Now we can speed our way past. It's nice to see these epic battle scenes, although I do feel that we get an overinflated sense of self-importance when driving around them. Hey, you've got the glaive thrower. Fantastic, you can save the day. We didn't think of deploying a glaive thrower before you arrived. And those ancients, well, they're just there to look nice. It's equal opportunities. They demanded to come along, and we couldn't say no. Swear, nobody wants to clean up their litter trays, I can tell you that. Ugh. Horrible thoughts. Size of boulders. Right, we are done with this particular glaive, so things start to get even more interesting after this. Because that gunship's still hanging around, and I'm sure that we would quite like it not to be. How do you do that, we might ask?
We will prevail.
With a positive attitude. We will prevail. We will prevail. And we also have a stick, so that's better. You really don't get a lot of greens in this zone when it comes to weaponry.
What is it?
Much more with the goblins. This is the end game. This is the last quest. We must jump on a hippogriff, and we are told that we're going to go blow up the Horde gunship using a bunch of incendiary devices that happen to be hanging around here thanks to the whole rebellion thing. Unfortunately, kind of like the battle for Gilneas, it doesn't trigger immediately.
What is it?
It demands patience. Now, I wonder if this works something along the lines of a public quest in Warhammer Online, whereby the public quest would cycle, and you would often have to wait at the end of it. Also like the Deep Space Encounters in Star Trek Online. If that's the case, they need to have a countdown timer. Because I'm just sitting here waiting and hanging around. It's like, we must wait for the right time to strike, even though the Horde gunship isn't going anywhere, and yeah. Okay, let's skip forward the next 6 minutes that I had to wait in order to start this quest, shall we? But not before I get on down, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. I also have this stick. Right. So maybe it was 2 minutes instead of 6. Whatever. I'm impatient. What can I say? It felt like an eternity there on the docks. In the grim clouds of the Gilneas skyline. And the dismal drizzle of the whole affair. Oh, but could I live in a better country, a better zone, one that didn't rain all the time? Wouldn't that be nice? One that didn't have a sea that looked constantly miserable all the time. One that wasn't being invaded by incompetent Forsaken with their gunships and their battle cruisers. One where I didn't have to ride around on this poncy hippogriff. Oh well, it is not to be. At least not yet. Right, we are on top of the Horde gunship and things are going crazy. How are they going crazy? Well, we're sort of shooting them. And we get a ridiculous buff. Lorna, look at that weapon. That's quite a nice model, isn't it? That looks new to me. And wow, the damage I can do around her. You know, why didn't we just take her and me and we could have killed all the Forsaken by now? Seriously. Let's clear all of this up. This, again, seems to be a timing-based trigger. So, I don't know whether or not actually clearing this area out helps in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going to do it, because I've got nothing better to do. In the meantime, we'll have a look at Lorna Crowley's big sodding gun.
What is it?
That is quite the rifle, isn't it?
I don't bite.
Secure the rafters!
She wasn't impressed, was she? Well, we kind of have secured the rafters. You could say rafters, you know, it's totally fine.
Greymane will lead us to victory.
Well, he's not here, is he? So we're just going to have to deal with the
I want
Crowley.
2 sharpshooters to stay behind and cover the...
Okay. Cover the what? What? You haven't told us the plan! It's all gonna go horribly wrong! Oh, God, I'm gonna have to chase after her, aren't I? She never was the greatest military mind.
My men, keep preparing. Try anything funny, the rest of you, follow me downstairs.
She's impatient. She can't even finish a sentence without going on to another. You know, there's speech therapy for that kind of thing.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Down, down we go. And where we stop, nobody knows. Not the most well-defended of gunships, is it? Though, suppose they're not really expecting an attack from the air. What with us having no flight points and everything. We've got stagecoaches and horses, and that's about it.
I can't cast that.
I'll clear these guys out of the way and make our way to the furnace room. Whereby, we laden it with explosives, as you might imagine. I love that buff. No one can really complain about hitting that hard at level 12 or 13. Out of the way, you fools. If only you were higher level, you might be a good defense.
We've got the
Have a look at
explosives
furnace
in the
room.
furnace room. Just hold them off now.
Yes, indeed. Oh dear, that looks rather unpleasant, doesn't it? That's the same model that we saw in the Blackrock Caverns, but it's not the same guy. I will get out my stick and threaten him. Or maybe I'll just cower in fear. That's so ridiculous. Ah! Get away! I'll hit you with this overpowered ability. Wow, you can really be CC'd? What kind of an elite mob are you? Well, I suppose you don't stay in it very long. I wonder where he's hiding, incidentally, because I'm fairly sure I swept the ship. Should have been pretty easy to find. Now, note what's going on outside. We seem to be angled in a rather odd way. We're getting quite close to the ground. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Oh dear, buildings. Yeah, there's not supposed to be buildings in the sky. Unless you're in Oldham. Cutscene time, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we're crashing this thing straight into the remainder of the Forsaken Army. Don't know why we bothered. I mean, we could have just thrown iron bombs at them. That seemed to work pretty well last time. Oh well. Evidently the Worgen are into their theatrics. And oh my god, my Wind Rider's falling! Area of negative pressure, apparently. And that is that. We blew up the gunship. With a bunch of improvised explosives that I didn't see. Nor, as far as I could tell, went anywhere important. It said it was a furnace room. It didn't look like one. But hey, that's goblin engineering for you, I guess. There was plenty of that involved. We already have prevailed. It's all good, seriously. You can stop with the mantra now. We did it with kittens! That's the best way to do it. That's it, actually. There's supposed to be some other quests that follow on from this, but they're not implemented yet. We'll go talk to this fellow right here, and he will let us know exactly what's what.
What can I do for you?
Well, you can take me to your leader, I guess. There might indeed be something good inside. I'm going to tell you what's in it? No, because I'm an evil tease. I'll keep that for the next video. I actually don't know what was in there. I completely forgot to look at it. But hey, I'll claim it was a tease. Now, of course, the game crashed when I tried to switch zones, but I'll give you a quick look at the Harbour of Darnassus. Nothing seems to have changed. But in the meantime, may I say, what a starting zone, really. People have been asking which I prefer, and honestly, it's got to be the Worgen. I think these directed quests and the scripted events are really good. It had a compelling storyline across the board. It had a cool cast of characters that you could actually relate to instead of them being constant comic relief. was grim stuff, great architecture across the board, good variety. That's how a starting zone should be made. Now apply these principles to Coldridge and everything else, please. Because we've seen what they can do, so why accept mediocrity from a company that's capable of far more? And, oh god, my face again. I don't know what was going on that ship, I tell you. Welcome to the harbour of Darnassus, ladies and gentlemen. Or at least that's where I think I am. I've never been here before. Don't roll, Night Elves. My name's been Totalbiscuit, and you'll see with kittens at some point in the not-too-distant future. I need a bath. I'll see you next time.